in the meantime, I think it's a good time to bring on our guests.
Okay.
Scott Alvey's here, and Molly Shaddix. Scott is the executive director of the Kentucky Historical Society, and Molly is our America 250 KY research specialist.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hang on, I got to text in my things for the food truck.
Okay. All right, well, we'll get there.
Yeah,
Trust me, you'll get your opportunity.
Yeah.
I was just thinking as you guys were going through that, it's like, do you guys remember the round ice cream vehicles that would tour around?
Oh.
Eddie Murphy had his skit about the ice cream man is coming and kind of thing like that. So
I'm going to have to look that up.
trying to figure out how to do the vehicle as ice
Right.
cream. That
Yeah.
would have been, I'm sure that
They
was their
definitely
challenge.
They had
Maybe a
one with
cone.
like the
Just
big
kinda like a
cone.
bucket.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's good.
Lay the cones over on its side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Sunday would be easier, maybe, because if you had like a longer.
Sunday would be,
that's
you
good,
could
maybe.
convert
Or
a
banana
hot
sun-
dog
banana
mobile into a
sun.
Sunday,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Just buy an old one.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're starting off with serious stuff. But guys, I feel like we've been building up to this for a long time. Hey, I am a bicentennial baby.
Yeah.
I was born in 1976. And so like I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for the
Yeah.
sesquicentennial.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, my youngest brother is a 1976 baby.
Yeah.
I had several cousins that were 1976 babies, and kind of remember that whole thing.
It was a big deal.
And,
Yeah.
and you're not wrong. We've been thinking. I remember. Oh gosh, it's been well over 6-7 years ago. I went to some folks going, "Hey guys, there's this 250th coming up in 2026 that we need to start planning
Right,
for.
right.
Start thinking about, especially if you wanted to kind of have that momentum that the 250th had on a lot of historical organizations. For those here in Frankfurt, the Kentucky Military History Museum is born in 1976. Last major renovation of the old state capitol was in 1974 to 1976. So all of these things that were leading up to it. So here we are 50 years later, and we're about ready to have some fun this upcoming weekend.
So we're gonna do it on it's Saturday, right? This Saturday is the 4th. It was nice that it worked out that way.
That
Yes.
was kind of funny when we started all the planning.
That was
It's
one
like,
of the first things. Like, what day of the week are we talking about?
Exactly.
So maybe tell us what people should be planning to come do.
Sure.
Well, we've got programming from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have
Okay.
stuff during the day for families. We have tours of Frankfurt, tours of our galleries. We have talks. We have so many different things. We have like passports inside the museum, and all three of our sites have free admission that day. So again, kind of explore if you haven't been around before. But we also have performances. We have historic dancing. In the evening section, if you want to talk more about that, there's kind of so much for you to engage with at different like levels. If you want a lot of history, if you want some fun, there's lots of cool stuff.
Okay.
The one thing I also want to mention out there, this has been a build-up, right? And we're working with communities across the Commonwealth for their events that have this is their culminating piece, right? And the piece that we've really thought about is it's not just a celebration, but this build-up to it gives us a chance to reflect upon, this Declaration of Independence. What did that mean for not just the nation, but what did that mean for what would become Kentucky? So I want to point out that, on July 3rd, the Liberty Hall and the Liberty Holler event and down on the riverfront. So Frankfurt's kicking off for a whole weekend of fun and activities. As Molly mentioned, it kind of on Saturday morning moves into a lot of family-friendly events that we'll do down there at the Old State Capitol on the grounds, and we're spreading it across the Historical Society campus. But then it leads us up into the evening event that is going to happen. Nobody knows what to call it. It's the big green space to where the convention center used to be, right there back behind the Capitol Plaza Hotel, with the fireworks firing up over the river, over the top of the over the Capitol Plaza. Walker Montgomery is going to be playing. The Louisville Orchestra will be there. Sollee will be there. And we have some guest speakers and historic videos and things like that that'll be shown in that space, beginning around 5 o'clock to kind of get us into the twilight hours for the big fireworks show.
And that'll be at the big green lot.
The
basically.
big green lot. parcels B and C for all those people that are into the logistics of things. But really fortunate that the community partners allowed us to use that space. Unfortunately, this is the kind of thing that if those remember the Kentucky Bicentennial and the U.S. Bicentennial, shooting the fireworks off behind the state capitol was the goal when we started all the planning. But unfortunately, due to the renovations and all the other areas, I think we have a really great show set up for Saturday, and we're really looking forward to it. And we have to make Tom promise that he's going to keep the weather out of here.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it's looking. And so obviously all this stuff is free.
Yes.
Or just show up.
Just show up.
Yep.
Okay. We like that. So during the day, you pick your spot, sort of like you talked about your 3 locations: the Military History Museum, the main Historical Society, and the Oklahoma State Capitol. There's going to be stuff happening in all the campuses.
Yeah. Starts off with a lot of, for those that came down for History Day to visit the thing, so a lot of educational activities that Molly and the team have set up just to kind of give us a chance to kind of think back and reflect back on historical moments within Kentucky history. The 250, a big piece for everybody to remember, is not just about the celebration at July 4th, and it's not a look back at our history 250 years ago. It's about where have we come as a Commonwealth since then. So we're looking at all kinds of things about the birth of our democracy and what does citizenship mean, and who are the people that were the movers and the shakers that helped this revolutionary experiment kind of unfold here in the Commonwealth. So you'll get a lot of that during the day. Of course, we have to get into the celebration thing, so we'll have a bluegrass band on the old state capitol lawn around 2 o'clock, and then we'll kind of have the traditional beer garden. Speaking of hot dogs, we're going to give away 250 free hot dogs at 250.
Okay. 250 p.m. Okay.
On the old state capitol lawn there.
That's a
So
good spot.
come on down and visit us.
I'm assuming you've got a rundown of the schedule and stuff available online, so people can maybe map out what their schedule is.
If you go to history.ky.gov, the very top there is our America 250 icon, and it'll get you to the schedule of events.
Fun.
Yeah, we can mention also. I don't think that the 1792 museum store has got a discount on Independence Day.
Yes.
15% off.
Yep.
And where is that? Store?
So it's in our history
museum
center.
Yeah.
In the museum center, right again, as you enter the front doors to the left.
Okay.
So there's like the grand staircase, and it's right to the left there.
And the team does a great job of having a variety of items there, but a lot of things that are in the store that connect back to the historic collections that we have, and you can see in the museum and exhibits. So it's not just the off-the-shelf stuff that you get at any other traditional museum store, but really makes some ties back to Kentucky and back to Frankfurt.
Yeah, stuff you can see in the collection. Very good. And there you go.
So events outside, the big thing down on the parcels B and C, but then all of the facilities are open, right? I mean, if you've never been through the actual museum, this is a great opportunity to get in and check it out.
Yeah, our research library will be open as well that day. Okay. So again, we're doing genealogy talks. So if you're interested in a little bit more research, you can come check out there as well. We
have 2 new exhibits too that if folks haven't had a chance to come down and see, Revolution to Statehood, Exploring Kentucky's founding in both myth and memory, which is a really great exhibit. Has some very well-known artifacts that we have on display that from the Burgoyne Canon. We have the liner of George Washington's coat. I'll tease it with that. I'll let you guys come down and understand why it's just the liner. We have a new acquisition of a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on display in that exhibit. And then we have also in our Kentucky Journey exhibit a smaller collection of items, Courage of the Commonwealth. So it's looking at some of the early items that would have been brought into Kentucky at our founding and as we continue to grow. So some really great pieces for people to come down and see, even if you've been there before. But if you haven't been, or if you have been, we want you to come on back.
Yeah, if you haven't gone through it, it's really it's such an amazing resource that it's so, I mean, I hate to say you take it for granted, but it's just like, it's this thing, it's this, and then, but you're like, man, there's amazing stuff there. Go check it out.
Especially when you live here. It's always the case,
Right. Sometimes it takes people from out of town to come and say, oh, what are we going to do?
And I think it's a great point, too. I know a lot of folks here in Frankfurt realize, but Kentucky's old state capitol, right in the center of Frankfurt's downtown, is the the place where Kentucky's democracy unfolds.
Yeah.
The people who spoke there, the events that happened there, the legislation that's passed there, and around downtown, with Liberty Hall and all the historic sites that are here in Frankfort. So this is a great opportunity for us to kind of get a good grounding in it and step back and remember that Frankfort was a pivotal place and it continues to be a pivotal place in Kentucky's democracy.
Yeah, awesome. And then you guys also, you're not done yet. You're like, the fourth of those. Let's just keep going.
We wish.
What's happening on July 8th?
So we have our Sharing the Spirit of America event. So this is the anniversary of when the Declaration of Independence was first read aloud to the public.
Okay.
So this is from Hawaii's 250 Commission, and so we are inspired to kind of host not just one in Frankfort, but across the Commonwealth, readings of the Declaration of Independence, like for the public with different speakers. We're hoping to have a poetry reading, and then get people to engage with those like founding ideals and like what was the country like at this time, and then what can we learn from democracy like from that moment.
Okay. So that's next Wednesday.
Yes.
At what time will you get started?
So it'll be 6 o'clock will be the reading, but there's a noon Liberty Bell event happening, but then the evening event will be at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Before we get to our question of the day, or I'm sorry, did you have
Oh, no, I was just saying, for those of you, you might recall, Molly mentioned the Liberty Bell. We have, there was a replica Liberty Bell that was created, I think it was in the 1960s, and tours across all 50 states and the territories get a copy of this Liberty Bell, and it toured around during 1976 on a flatbed truck around Kentucky. So it's currently in our Commonwealth Hall, and we may be bringing it back out and putting it on the in the front of the old state capitol.
Oh, wow.
To maybe do some ceremonial ringing on July 4th and July 8th.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question. Before we get into like food vehicles, during this process, I know a lot of effort to put this thing on, but did you discover anything like, I don't know, whether it was a piece of history or something you found, or like that you're like, I didn't know that. I mean, I know you guys don't know everything about everything. Was there anything through this process you're like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't know about that.
I think the revolutionary ties to Kentucky were all brand new to me. I think because I think learning Kentucky history as a Kentuckian is so important. And coming into this role, like learning about this, I was like the Battle of Blue Licks that happened after Yorktown, which again, this is like interesting moment in U.S. history because, there's indigenous people in Kentucky, there's these settlers, like what's happening. And then Daniel Boone was at that battle. And again, like what did that founding moment look like in Kentucky in comparison to things on the East Coast and even further west?
Okay, cool. I'm going to dig into that.
Yeah, about the same. Just the fact that every time we do July 4th and we do the Declaration of Independence, it's not the end of the war, right? It's quite frankly the beginning.
It's the start. Right.
And to look back at all the things that were happening even before then, not just for a few years, but for decades, a century before then. What's going on in Kentucky and how the nation is looking at this expansion into the West.
Right.
They're looking at Kentucky,
Yeah.
and so the pivotal role that Kentucky played in the thoughts of the birth of the nation. I think that's the big piece that I just didn't realize the gravity of that role that Kentucky played.
That's super cool. Okay. So now we get to the serious stuff. Any
official picks for your food vehicle?
Food vehicles, anybody? The ice cream truck, is that still the?
Yeah, I guess that exposes my
I'm
weakness in food snacks.
I'm 100% with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was really thinking about the sundae. Like when you all were talking, I was like, I kind of want to do like the banana, and I guess we could work with the Wienermobile. Like that would be just really fun.
Repurpose.
Yeah,
I think that's
I like
just
where
natural.
You guys' brains are on that. It's good.
I think we can check out and see what Tom Ackerman's got in store for us. We appreciate you all being here.
Yeah.
And always when you stop by to tell us what's going on with the Historical Society. And I think it's going to be a big time for the 250th. So thanks for that. And we'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Great. Anytime we love to have any opportunity we have to come talk about Kentucky history, we'll take you up on it.
And thanks for all the hard work. I know it was not, you didn't just start last week.
How many years have we been working on this?
Well over 7.
Wow.
We worked with a lot of national partners actually to begin with, and was able to go from that national narrative kind of thing. It's like, how do we highlight local in Kentucky and statewide history. So it's taken a long time to get to this point.
Well, congrats, you're almost there.
Thanks. Yeah.
Let's see what Tom Ackerman says things are going to be like this weekend and for the rest of the week. We'll check in with the WLEX meteorologist right now.